Welcome back to another episode of The Real Deal, where I come at you with the straight truth, nothing but the truth. So help me, my word is my word. And I tell you what, you listen to me, you're going to learn more than you'll ever learn in school. The schools won't teach you the truth anymore. They got it all sugar-coated. You read the books and stuff, they're like, yo, look at this, teach you this, teach you that. There are people that can't even write in cursive anymore. Graduating high school. I'm like, what? There are people that just don't get it, man. They don't learn anything about real history. And if you don't know history, you're going to have a horrible future. Because if they control the history, which they're doing, they're rewriting it all, they're going to control the future and the present. And they're going to control you. They're going to control me. And you're going to lose your freedoms and your democracy. I'll tell you right now, most people don't even know what those words mean anymore. Can you imagine back in the day when the Founding Fathers were fired up with all the stuff that was going on with the redcoats coming over here? They had the right to come to your house, go into your house, and they would be quartered there. They could stay where they wanted. You couldn't do anything about it. They'd come in, eat your food, try to fondle your daughters, maybe your sons, who knows? They'd drink your water, drink your booze. You couldn't do nothing. There wasn't nothing you could do legally. You pulled a gun on them, they'd shoot you. They'd kill you right there dead. And they'd get away with it too, because you pulled a gun on them. And then a lot of times, they didn't let you have a gun. You had to hide your guns, man, because that was illegal. There were a lot of things illegal back then, and they're kind of trying to do it a little bit today. They've been trying to do this for years, making certain guns illegal. I always love it when they talk about assault weapons. Okay, well, I could hurt somebody with a brick. Should we get rid of bricks? A cinder block will really do a lot of damage. I saw Wile E. Coyote one time. He hit a tunnel that was painted on. It wasn't even a real tunnel. It was horrible. That bird did it, man. The Roadrunner, and Wile E. Coyote got hurt. So we need to outlaw painting and caves and cartoons. And you know what? There's probably somebody listening right now saying, he's right. We should do that because people will see that and they'll do that. And they will be stupid enough to try to run through that. I can't even say it with a straight face. I'm sorry, people. But I guarantee there are people dumb enough out there that will do it. But the Founding Fathers, they were a little fed up with things. I mean, we're the United States of America. We got a little more freedom than others. We're not too bad. But the Founding Fathers didn't like some of the stuff going on. So they said no. That's when they came up with the Constitution, 1787. There's something they probably don't teach you in school anymore either. How many amendments are in the Constitution? 27. All right? You learned something today. Because people don't know this. The first 10 are the Bill of Rights, and those are beautiful. Those are beautiful, man. And yeah, I'm going to touch on some freedom today, man, because freedom, when I grew up, I don't know if y'all remember the folk singer Donovan Leitch. He was a great man. He's still around. He just doesn't tour anymore because he knows he's old and he's like, I did my time. I did a great job. But he sang a song, and in that song, I'll never forget the words. He says, freedom is a word I rarely use without thinking. And he's right, because you got to understand what freedom is, where it came from, who gave you that freedom, where it's going, and how to fight for it to keep it here. And that's what the Founding Fathers, most of them did. They'll say, they were all white men. A lot of them were slave owners. Of course they were. There were a lot of black slave owners, too. There were slave owners from all over. A lot of northern people owned slaves. A lot of northern states had rules to where black folks couldn't live there peacefully. They could send you back and get $25 reward, which was a lot of money back then. So don't just blame certain people, because there's a lot of people guilty of wrongdoing in this world, man. But one of the best things they did, they said that Congress, the First Amendment, shall make no law respecting an establishment. Now, you know what that is? That's a business. That's a church, something that's selling something, a bar. You cannot do anything. You cannot prohibit the free exercise thereof. Abridged to freedom of speech. You cannot freedom of press. And you have the right of the people peacefully to assemble. Peaceably, that's the key word there. And to petition the government for a redress of grievances. That's a beautiful thing. That's the First Amendment. And that gives us the freedom of speech. We have the right to protest. We have the right to assemble peaceably. We have the right to go out there and peaceably. You don't beat people up. You don't hurt people. You don't do stupid stuff. You don't blow things up. You get out there. And let me tell you something, people. Standing on a street corner in a small town is not going to change the world. You need to go right to the source. You got a problem with the president? Go to the president. Stand outside the White House. He doesn't care. But you know what? You get 50,000 people out there holding signs peacefully, and they're standing there for days. Yeah, our government's going to start to care, going, maybe we better consider this, man. But that is a beautiful thing, the First Amendment. But it's been taken from us. Free speech is gone. You post something on Twitter. That's an establishment. And people say, well, you got to follow their rules. Their rules? What are their rules? Oh, you can't post here the truth. Really? Because I can say something positive about this, and they're like, oh, no. Oh, no. That's offensive. That's offensive, boy. But then somebody else could say, death to these guys. Like, oh, yeah, no problem there. We'll promote that one. What? You know, I see it all the time. I see people supporting the Nazis, saying all kinds of good things. These guys need to die. These guys this. I'm like, huh? But when I say something like, that's really rude, dude. That's not very nice. How dare you? That's offensive. That hurt his feelings. You called him rude. You don't understand what that means. Oh, I understand. I was being nice because I could say a lot of words that would get me kicked off the internet. But I don't because I've learned. Because I've been in social media jail. I've been in there so much. You should see my badges, man. I've been in there so much, they know me by name. Elon Musk, he's like, oh, hey, how you doing, bro? Yeah, what'd you do today? He knows me, man. Zuckerberg, he's like, oh, he did it again. All right, we'll give him a 3-day suspension. He'll be good on Monday. So freedom's being lost, man. It is. When you go out on the street and you see a camera, right? Are they doing that? What are they doing that for? Your protection, right? Uh-huh. Do you know how many times those things have, recorded somebody perfect and nothing happens? A girl gets raped on a train. A little old lady got murdered, set on fire on a train by an illegal immigrant in New York City about a year and a half ago. It's on camera. Well, you know, this. What? What do you mean you know? Sound like a Jewish mom. What? Trust me, they do that. Nothing wrong with that. I love them. But anyway, that's what's happening. Freedom for some, but not for all. And that's what we got to work on, people. We got to work on that a lot. And they're trying to take things away from you. They're trying to work on guns. Oh, you can't buy this gun. You can't do this. But you know what? The Second Amendment's a beautiful one. Because back then, the Founding Fathers, those people were taking their guns. You couldn't have a gun. Well, now you can. And they'll turn it around and say, no, that's just for a well-regulated militia. Right, it is. But if you read the whole thing, which most people don't because they have an agenda and it doesn't fit your beliefs, only theirs, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. I get it. What's a militia? A militia is a group of people with guns that protect others. But then you read a little bit more and said the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. What part of that do you nut jobs on the left not understand? We have the right to keep a gun. You don't want a gun, don't get one. You want a gun, go get one legally. No matter what happens, somebody's going to get one illegally, no matter what. That's how it goes. Okay. You say, well, they got a gun. He did this. Okay. What about drugs? Drugs are illegal. I still see cocaine everywhere. I still see that smack on the streets. I mean, cracks everywhere. Got that meth. I mean, come on, man. It's everywhere. But they're illegal. So what? And you know what that does? That kills a lot of people. I've had a lot of friends die from drugs, man. And it's sad. I had some friends die from some drugs recently. Overdosed. And it was really sad. They were good people. I miss them. And that's sad. But where was the left when they died? Why didn't they say, we need to outlaw fentanyl? We need to stop that. It's coming from China. There's no need for it. Where were they? They're not there. They don't care. They only care if it makes them look good. That's how most of the people on the left are. Now, I will tell you this. You all know I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm middle of the road man that can think for himself. I am middle of the road. I don't lean to the right. I don't lean to the left. But I will say this. The people that lean to the left claim a lot, but they are full of hate. And they always have been. And I will explain why in a minute. And it's horrible. It's horrible. The Constitution went on with wonderful things. You got a grand jury. Now you got legal courts, because back then, if they didn't like you, well, we don't like you. We don't like your store. Hey, if we put him in jail, we can keep his store, right? Yeah, we can keep his plantation. All right, you're going to jail, dude. Now you got the right to a speedy trial, which I am amazed at. You look at some of these people, like the guy that killed Charlie Kirk. He hasn't even been on trial yet. He's gone to court. He's not on trial. I mean, what's up with that? I mean, come on, man. It'll be a couple years before he probably gets sentenced. Just like Rob Reiner's son. His lawyer backed off. He hasn't been on trial yet. He's gone to court a couple times. And now they're saying, well, he's a nut job. Well, he probably was. But he needs a lawyer to represent him. And it's like, where's the speedy trial there, man? So there were a lot of beautiful things in the Constitution. They couldn't give you an excessive fine anymore. Cruel, unusual punishment, because there was some crazy stuff that went on back then, man. You know, we had rights. We have rights reserved to the states. Our Constitution, our government was for the people, by the people, of the people. And me and you, we are the people. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union. And let me tell you what's going on, people. Most people don't know the meaning of democracy. I'll tell you what democracy means. Democracy is a government by the people through their elected officials. Now, we were able to vote for officials now. The people represent us. How's that working out for us? I believe in term limits. FDR was four terms as president. FDR was horrible for this country. I could go off, be here too long. He was horrible. He was the only people that liked him were the people he gave stuff away to. But the stuff that you're giving is coming from me and you. It's coming from the taxpayers, the working man. Let me tell you why they keep the working man going. They keep the lower class out there to show you, hey, working man, this could be you. You better go do your job today. And you're like, crap, I don't want to be on welfare. I don't want to be all that. But at the same time, the working man's like, why do they get free stuff? They're able to work. Get their butts out there. I got to pay for daycare. So should they. And they're right. But we got a lot of government agencies and a lot of people in government that want to give stuff for free. As long as they keep getting their votes, you give a handout to somebody, they're going to love you. If I go give the homeless guy in the corner $5 every day, I'm going to be his hero. But the one day I don't give him one, look out. Look out and see what happens, man. So we have elected officials. I believe in term limits, especially for Congress and Senate. There's no reason why they should be in there so long. It's a joke, man. But here's the deal. Who votes on that? They do. So it's never going to happen, my people. Now, I love freedom. I said it earlier. Freedom is a beautiful word. I love my freedom. Am I as free as many? Maybe. Am I free than most? Maybe. I know I probably have a little more freedom because, this is going to be harsh for some people, but I'm white. So I'm not going to get hassled as much as, say, the black man or the Mexican. Especially right now with ICE going around. The minorities get hassled more just because they're minorities. And that's sad. We're all supposed to be equal. And I don't care if you believe in a higher power or not. We're equal in the eyes of Hashem, the Creator, the Great One. We're equal in His eyes. We're supposed to be equal in the law's eyes. But we all know that doesn't work. Freedom is a state of being free. Free of restraints. Free without control. We should not be being controlled by the government. We should not be in control of every aspect we do. Why am I paying so many taxes? I work hard. I get my paycheck. You take about a quarter of it or so in taxes. So then I go to the store and I buy gas on the way. I'm paying a tax on the gasoline and got to watch an advertisement while I'm doing it. It's like they're getting paid to put that ad out there. I don't want to see that. Lower your prices then, man. Then I get to the store and they charge me taxes on everything that's made in China. And then I look down the street and I see homeless people sleeping in the street. And that's not an exaggeration, people. That's a lot. I see a lot of that. I see abandoned houses, and I'm thinking, wow, they should give that to the homeless people. Abandoned buildings. You know what? They could take a little state money and replenish that. Because the governor of Michigan said she was going to fix the damn roads and never did, and they have the worst roads in the nation and the highest car insurance. But you know what? She could take a few $1 million and fix that up, and you've got like 120 people that could live there. Low-income housing. They won't do it. There's no money in it. No money in it at all. They don't even think about that, people. So where's the freedom at? How much freedom? Freedom's kind of an illusion now, isn't it? Oh, yeah, I can go to the store, you know? And they say, well, you don't have armed guards at the store. Oh, yeah. In my city, there's some armed guards at the stores, man, you know? And the city I come from, which is a very rough city, blue collar all the way, man. It has a bad reputation of being tough. And the reason the people are tough is you got to be tough to live there, man. You got to be tough to survive. But you know what? We pretty much all got along. But there's armed guards at the security there. There's armed guards at the bank. You go to a car dealership, there's an armed guard there. There's more than one. It happens, people. So let's talk about liberty. What's liberty? Most people don't know these words, man, so that's why I'm going through this with you. Liberty means you're free from confinement. You're free from forced labor. You're free from servitude, which means there's no slavery. It means you got to get paid for what you do. It means you have the right to participate in actions without control of the government. That means you have the liberty to march down the street with a protest sign. You have the liberty to stand on a corner. You have a liberty to walk up to somebody on the street that's a congressman and say, hey, Pelosi, you're a bum. Hey, Schumer, Senator bum. You're a bum. You're a Jew-hating bum. You're a fake Jew. You're a shwoo. You got that right. And they can't do anything to you as long as you're not laying hands on them. But you know what's going to happen? You will get arrested. Happens all the time. Because they want to take that away from you. I could walk up to Donald Trump today and say something. I have that right. He is going to come back and say something else to me. I know he will. But, you know, we have that right. We have that liberty. They're trying to take that from us, people. They're trying to take that from us. And let me tell you something. Liberal is a form of the word of liberty. Now, you have so many people in the world that are on the far left or just on the left, and they claim to be open-minded progressive liberals. They claim to care about everybody and everything. But a majority of them live in pretty much white communities, favorable communities, like in houses that are like $300,000, $400,000. They'd be scared to go into a real black community. Trust me. You know the blackest cities in America right now? Flint, Michigan. Jackson, Michigan's got up there now. Jackson, Mississippi, and Detroit, Michigan. They won't go there. The only time they go to Detroit, Michigan is to see a sporting event. And they have that set up so you go in and out on the highway, park in the lot. They're scared. Oh, yeah. They won't go down there to hold the protest. They definitely would not go to Flint, Michigan. You know why? Somebody will hurt them bad and take their money. And then they'll cry about it. And it'll be a black man because it's a predominantly black city. And then they'll cry racism. But wait a minute. You say Black Lives Matter. This person's impoverished. Why didn't you help him? Why did you just sit there and let him rob you? Why did you fight back? Oh, well, they'll have excuses. Because that's what so-called liberals do. And I don't like to use the word liberal. Because to me, liberal is a beautiful thing. It is a person that wants liberty. Liberty for everybody. A liberal basically means you are favoring reform. You are open to new ideas. And not just your ideas. You're open to new ideas on the left. You're open to new ideas on the right. You're open to new ideas in the middle of the road. You're tolerant of others' beliefs and views. You're open to this. You might not agree with it, but you sit there and you're open to it. You're like, you're right. We really should try to do something about that. But instead of offering a solution, they're like, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're stupid. You're a Nazi. They don't even know what a Nazi is. They're the Nazis. They're the Nazis, people. Yeah, I'm going to go off, man. I'm going to tell it like it is. Because I know. Because I'm the real deal, baby. And what you get is what you see with me, baby. So they go out there and they sit there and they point fingers and they do this and they do that. Well, you're supposed to be tolerant. That's why I don't call people on the left liberals. You're supposed to be broad-minded, open-minded. Liberalism basically is protection. You protect and you enhance the freedom of an individual. A real liberal wants freedom for everybody. They sit there and say, I don't agree with you on that, brother, but I agree that you deserve freedom. You agree with that. Voltaire once said, back in the day, he said, I might not agree with you. I'm paraphrasing, but I'll fight for your right to say it. And that's the truth. That's how I believe. I might not agree with you, but I'll let you say it. But you got to let me say what I want to say. You got to let this guy say what he wants to say. I don't like Nazis. I don't like a lot of people in this world because they're full of hate. But I hate to say this, but they have the right to believe and say what they want. I have the right to say and believe I want. And if they're not going to respect me, why should I respect them? Right? So you got these people that call themselves liberals, bleeding heart liberals that care about the poor. Really? Because back in the 60s and 70s when they were busing schools, they put the blacks into the white schools and they're like, oh, wonderful, look, a black guy. I hope he can run a football. I'm serious. This little old lady told me in the town that I know of, about 6,000, 7,000 people there. She told me one time, because she was giving me the history of her area, and the field, she bought all this field, her and her husband, and they turned it into homes, and it was nice. They didn't make a lot of money off it. They just wanted new neighbors. But they made some money. She was smart. She told me that her community never really liked black people unless they could dribble a basketball or run a football. And I'm like, wow, you're right. I hate to say it, but she's right. And that's how a lot of white communities are. They would bust these people in. But then if they said, okay, we're going to bust some white kids to the black schools. Oh, no, I'll sue you. I'll get a lawyer. I'll sue you. Well, why? Why? You don't want your kid? Oh, they won't get a good education there. Why not? Well, if it's not a good school, it's not a good education place, how about we fix it? How about we go in there and fix it so they get the equal education, people? The liberals, they're some of the worst people on the planet. That's why I don't call them liberals. They've been around for a long time. And there's been a lot of people that have called them out. I usually call them lefties because liberal to me is a compliment. Liberalism, liberty is a beautiful thing. But they are not liberals. They don't care about you and they don't care about me. Here's the deal. When you disagree with them, you're a bad person. If they come out and say no kings, and you're like, what do you got against? Martin Luther King, or Elvis? They're both kings. They don't laugh. That's funny. All right, go ahead and roll with that, people. But they don't laugh. They'll sit there and go, oh, you're probably a Republican. You're probably a Trump supporter. And I'm like, well, you probably have Trump derangement syndrome since you've got some issues and bring him up with every post you make on Facebook or whenever you talk about something. You're obsessed with the guy. Me, I'm not obsessed with the guy. Now his wife, don't tell him. He gets a little jealous because got a restraining order. I'm not allowed around her. 100 yards. That's a long ways away. But thank goodness I got binoculars and I can still see her now and then. Whoops, I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, back to the truth. All right? Do y'all remember, Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King, he was not a perfect man. He made fault. He had faults. He had made errors. He did some bad things. He's a human being. But you know what? He was kind of considered a democratic socialist. I understand where he was coming from. I understand he wanted schools to be equal. He wanted people to make the same amount of money, and I don't have a problem with that. He didn't want the big divide between rich and poor or management and the working man. He had some great ideas, and a lot of people do. They weren't going to let that fly. Heck, they didn't even let when LBJ signed the Civil Rights Act, and I'm not going to say the word, but he told his people, and this is recorded, it's truth, he said, you get me elected president, I'll have those N-words voting Democrat for the next 200 years. Because what they do is they give them a little bit here and there, and they sit there and say, hey, we're going to pay off your student loans. How'd that work out for you with Joe Biden, people? Joe Biden said he was going to pay off student loans, didn't he? Didn't see any loans get paid off. I'm going to cure cancer. I got a video of him saying that. I saw it. I was there. Whoops, shouldn't say that. Never mind. Anyway, I saw a lot of this stuff, man. Yeah, I get around. I have fun. But anyway, he said he was going to cure cancer. Haven't seen it yet. And he's gone now. So what? Maybe he should work on curing, mental illness or Alzheimer's or things like that. But they don't. They only care when it happens to them. And that is what's wrong with our country, people. It is too divided because you got too many people on one side that hate the others on the other side. And if you say something to them about it, oh, you're a bad person. So y'all know Malcolm X. They didn't like Brother Malcolm because Malcolm was a black radical. And they didn't like the Black Panthers back then because they were black radicals too. But do you know what the Black Panthers were all about? The Black Panthers were set up to protect the black community from stupid people coming to hurt them. The KKK. Who started the KKK? Who's mostly liberals? Who's mostly on the left? Oh, yeah, Democrats. That's right. Yeah. So, I mean, they would go out there. So the Black Panthers were out there protecting their neighborhoods. They were protecting their people. They were getting attacked. They weren't a radical group. They weren't going around killing white people. They stayed in their neighborhoods protecting them. Nothing wrong with that. Brother Malcolm. Let me tell you about Brother Malcolm. A lot of people didn't like him because they didn't agree with him. Malcolm was for truth. Malcolm is a lot like me. He's for truth. Well, actually, I should say I'm a lot like him because he's gone. Rest his soul. He said he's for truth no matter who tells it. He's for justice no matter who it is for. Brother Malcolm said that. Now, you'll see. You can go look this up. There's a lot of videos of him talking. He did not like white liberals. He did not trust them. He saw them with deep skepticism. They had intentions on paper, supposedly. They would say, we want this and we want to do this. But he also said they were complicit in the systemic racism of the United States. And I totally agree with him, 100%. I totally agree with him. During the Black Lives Matter movement, I'd see all these people out there. And I'm like, now, wait a minute. You're in a 99% white community. Where are the black people? How are you sticking up for blacks when you won't even let them move here because you got the damn prices of the house too high? They can't afford $300,000. Are you saying black people don't make as much money as white people? Yes. Yes, I am saying that, people. I am telling you the truth. And Brother Malcolm knew, and so did many other. Medgar Evers, they shot him down in his prime. He had a stack of shirts when he got shot by that freaking French piece of crap racist. He got shot. I stood in the site right where he got shot. That bullet went through him and went into the house. Could have killed his kids. It's a 30-06. I'm looking right at the spot where he got shot, and I'm like, how? Medgar Evers didn't do nothing to anybody. He was an American, a war hero, supported his family. He came home late at night. He had a bunch of T-shirts that said, Jim Crow must go. He stuck up for his people. Nothing wrong with that. That man took beatings. He took all kinds of stuff, just like Brother Malcolm, just like a lot of people did. There were a lot of white people that got killed. There were a lot of Jewish people that went out there. Martin Luther King, the Jewish people supported him more than anybody. Right before he was his major I Have a Dream speech, a rabbi spoke. They stuck up for him. They helped him because they know what it's like. And a lot of liberals, they don't like Jews. Weird, isn't it? It's weird. And then you see a lot of Jews that vote Democrat and claim to be liberals. And I'm like, what have they ever done for the Jews? Nothing. Nothing. If you're voting for Democrats like that mad dummy Nazi guy they voted for the mayor of New York, you're an idiot. You're a self-hating Jew. You're not a real Jew. Chuck Schumer, you're not a real Jew. Bernie Sanders, shoot, we don't believe in hell, but you go to hell if there is one, boy. You're going to Sheol for a long, long time. Anyway, got a little off topic. I got a little mad. You understand how it is, people. I get fired up. So, Brother Malcolm believed that black folks were being used for political gain, economic self-determination. Instead of the reliance on white allies, they were using them. He didn't like white liberals. He said they offered sympathy and token gestures, and that's what they're doing today. But they don't care about it because they don't get rid of the structures. They don't get rid of the bad things that keep black people down. You know, he preached black nationalism. He preached about self-reliance for black people. He wanted integration. He challenged the Democrats and Republicans on their sincerity. Now, most Republicans, they were like, yeah, you know what? Okay, I understand. And if you hear him talk, he'll tell you that he doesn't trust the white liberal. He says there's a lot of good white people out there helping. So a lot of people out there, white people helping the black man. And he was right. To this day, there still are. And he said, but there's a lot of white people. He's like, now, the black man is being helped, but when you got the white guy, the white right-wing conservative, basically, he's a wolf. But you know he's coming for you, like a Klansman. You know he's coming for you. You know what he's all about. But the white liberal is the worst because he comes like a fox. He's smiling at you. He's looking good, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to help you out. But he goes deep down inside, he's going to hurt you. He's going to stab you in the back. And to this day, a lot of his stuff that he believed in is still happening in the United States today. He felt that so-called liberals would promise a lot of stuff, just like you got Democratic presidents out there. Like I said, hey, we're going to pay off your student loans. Oh, I'm voting for him. They're not going to do it, people. They lie. They lie just to get elected. And then they get in there. How is it that these guys make a few $100,000 a year? Yes, they're worth $10 million. On his book sales. Ain't nobody I know ever read any of their books. How did Obama become a millionaire? Oh, yeah, here's another thing about Obama. Now, hold on, folks. I'm against climate change. Me and Michelle, and we're going to get flooded someday. We got to do something about it. But then he goes and buys $1 million mansion right on the ocean, right on the water. They all do that. So you're worried about climate change? You're worried about the waves? Shoot, boy, you lying through your teeth, boy. Him and Michelle, whatever. That dude's a man. Anyway, dude looks like a lady. So Brother Malcolm, though, he didn't like that because they lied. Now, I know Malcolm X would not have liked Barack Hussein Obama, whether he was a Muslim or not. Brother Malcolm wouldn't like him because he didn't like that stuff. But he always saw in a lot of people, and I see it the same way. I think white liberals are a part of the problem of the United States nowadays. I think they have a problem with people with open minds. I think they have a lot of racism. I think that they are very critical of anybody that thinks different than them. They have no problem attacking you on social media. They have no problem attacking groups of people like Jews and saying, Israel's a genocide nation. Oh, you guys stole this land. All right, white cracker. How about that land you're standing on, boy? In the United States, that was native land. I know. Well, I bought my land. Yeah, you bought stolen land. That's a felony. You're going to jail. Seriously, that's a felony, man. But I believe they're a part of the problem, too. They're phonies. They're phonies, and they're really hurting not just black folks, but anybody that thinks different than them. They think that way. You know, Brother Malcolm believed that you were going to use the ballot or the bullet. That if political promises were never kept from the liberals and the Democrat, that black people might resort to some forceful means. And I know what he felt like. I studied on him and stuff. I know what they did to him. I know they killed him, and they covered that up real quick. Did you know when they killed him that night, they cleaned up the crime scene? There was a party or something going on that night. So you never really got a good, real investigation of that, man. You know? But he wanted blacks to have self-determination. He didn't want them to give up. He knew what the problem was, and he said, don't give in to those people. And that's how I feel today about these people on the left. They don't care about me or you. They don't care about freedom. They don't care about democracy. They definitely don't care about liberty or liberalism. I guarantee they don't know what a real liberal is. We haven't had a real liberal around in a long time. Heck, John Wayne was a conservative, so they said, but he grew up thinking he was a liberal because he cared about others. Heck, if you really go by the definition, you could call me a liberal because I care about others. I don't have to agree with you. You know, that's okay. You can think that way. Just don't hurt anybody, okay? You know, don't hurt me, don't hurt others, don't hurt yourself. But you can think different than me. That's what makes this country great. That's what gives us the freedom, man. And let me tell you, the other day, I made a little post in some groups in the city where I work. It was a nice post. It was just a little picture. It was January 9th. It was Law Enforcement Day, Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. I have a lot of friends in law enforcement. I've been hassled by law enforcement over the years. I've done some stuff. I've been hassled for stuff that they said I did that I never did. But I don't blame everybody for it. I just blame the ones that were rude to me and hassling me. I blame the prejudiced bigots. Just like I had bad teachers growing up. I had good teachers too. So I'm not going to blame every teacher out there for something. The bad ones I didn't like. Just like every job, there's good and bad people. Every one of them. There's good and bad managers all over the country in every job. Doesn't matter what you're doing, people. There's good and there's bad. So if you get pulled over by the cop and they're a prick to you, well, you know what? If you're not doing anything wrong, I have a problem with that. But if you do everything right, then that's okay. They're just doing their jobs, you know. So I made this post. And like I said, I got a lot of friends in law enforcement. They're beautiful people. I love them. I don't want them to get hurt. I know they don't make a lot of money. I know they put their lives on the line. I know they get hassled. It's tough out there. I feel bad for them, especially in this day and age, especially when you got lawyers that'll defend anybody now. Or you shot this guy 3 times, shot at him, so, you know, we're going to let you go with a little slap on the wrist. Oh, you're an illegal immigrant? Oh, well, here's some money, and then you get to go. Then he goes and does it again. Why did I tell you? Don't do that again. 2 slaps on the wrist this time. So I respect law enforcement. I respect almost any job, especially if they don't make a lot. But these guys are facing bullets, you know, and that's not cool. I feel for them, especially some of the ones I know that work in big cities. There's some crazy cities out there where there's a lot of hate right now. Anyway, I put this post all over social media. Nobody complained. Nobody said a word, a bad word. I got nothing but likes. You know, that's what you're supposed to do. If I see stuff I don't like on social media, I scroll past it. Unless it's about like my job or my people or something, I'm going to correct you on this. It's like, no, that's not true, and here's why. And then what they do is they attack me. They attack me and say it's right because they Googled it. It's funny, too. I love when Jews get attacked and then somebody Googles sometimes like, oh, you're not allowed to use Google. You don't like Jews. Jews created that. Matter of fact, you might want to get off your computer. You might want to quit doing and using a lot of stuff because Jews created that. We don't want you to be a little liberal hypocrite now, do we? Anyway, one group in the city where I work, it's a so-called open-minded progressive city, let's call it that. Still a lot of good old boys out there. Still a lot of blue-collar people. There's still a lot of people that'll scroll past things that if they don't like. That's what I do for the most part. Like I said, if it's dead wrong and it's hurting people, I will defend them. I got attacked. I got attacked by everybody. They were calling me names. Grown people. These people, I mean, they might have only been in their 40s or 50s, but some of them, I'll tell it like it is, they were ugly. I'm looking at some of them, it's like, who the heck is this? I'm like, dang, dude. Woo! You should take some time and put some soap on your face. Maybe take a shower. Maybe brush your teeth, too. All 3 of them. I mean, come on, man. Some of them looked like they're 80 years old. They're probably only 40. They were calling me names. They were insulting me. They were saying all kinds of bad stuff about law enforcement. They were full of hate. And the thing is, I know most everybody in this community. I can tell you where they live. I know a lot. But I don't go after them. One lady went after me. I said, it's called free speech. Well, you don't have the free speech to do that. Oh, yes, I do. I have free speech. I have free speech. Did I ever tell you guys that one of my people, my ancestor going way, way, way back on my mother's father's side, he signed a Declaration of Independence. Yep, Oliver Wolcott. Yep, he would have been an uncle of mine. Anyway, and I'm proud of that. I mean, I've got the documentation and everything for that. My mom did very good with that stuff. We got documentation for a lot of things. And I am so grateful. And it's been 2 years now since she's gone, and I miss her. May her memory always be a blessing. She was a beautiful human being. Very smart. Very smart. She would have liked these podcasts, trust me. Anyway, everybody kept attacking me. They were calling me names. I mean, grown adult people, male and female, calling me names, dogging out the police. Okay, you want to dog out the police? That's cool. I pointed out to them, when somebody steals your car, when somebody breaks into your home, somebody shoots at you, who's the first one you call? What's the first thing you call on your phone? Yeah, 911, correct? You call the police. But they don't like the police. So who are you going to deal with, people? They didn't like it. They didn't like what I said. I was very nice, very calm, very rational, unlike them. And I'm looking at this going, what is wrong with these people? Y'all are messed up, man. But they claim to be open-minded progressive liberals. They're on the left. How dare I post something they don't agree with? Happens all the time. I would post a beautiful thing for a Jewish holiday. Oh, they would attack me on that. Other groups didn't. Every now and then one person might be a butthead. And it's always going to be that way. They'd attack Israel. I'd post something for the United States. I posted something in honor of the Postal Service being 250 years old. Oh, they started attacking them, saying they're no good. We give them too much taxpayer money and stuff. I'm like, you don't even know what you're talking about. But they Googled it. And they Google until they find what they're looking for. They'll go through 10 things. Like, here we go. CNN's going to tell me this. That's what's wrong with the people, man. That's what's wrong with a lot of people in the United States of America today. The hatred is getting extreme, my friends. My brothers and sisters out there, the hatred is beyond anything I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen people attack somebody for a different political belief or religion. Not like this. I've seen it, but not like this. I see people threatening others, going after them. It's horrible. But they're supposed to be the open-minded people. They're supposed to be the kind, caring group. But they're only kind and caring if you agree with them. That's how they are, man. And it's time we step up and we stop this BS and stand up to these people. They're the ones out there with the signs protesting every week. They're the ones out there attacking people. They're the ones that get mad when they attack somebody and they get their asses kicked. You know? FAFO, man. Right? Am I wrong? No, I'm right. People, we all have freedom in the United States of America. I have never seen it this bad. I've never seen the division this bad. And it's so easy to divide. I grew up wondering how the Nazis were so easily able to take over. And it wasn't just manpower. It was because of the brainwashing they did with media. And now, with social media, man, it's so easy. So easy now. It's never been easier. And you can tell the truth to somebody, but they won't believe you. And that's the problem. But it doesn't change what's the truth. So I want everybody to learn the truth. Come back and listen to me, please, because I'll tell you the truth. I'll preach to you. I'll tell you how it's going to be. I will tell you how it's going to be. And when I see bad things are coming, I see bad things, bad times rolling in, I'm going to stop it. I'm going to stop it. The first step is speaking out. The second step is stepping up big time. That's the second big step. And you don't let these people dominate and control you. Start being free. Start learning things, okay? Stand up to these people. They're full of hate. They're going to keep hating no matter what. By the way, in that group, I posted something in honor of Martin Luther King's birthday the other day. They took it down. They wouldn't let me post in there. So I tried it again and again and again. I tried all kinds of different Martin Luther Kings. I'm just wishing a great man a birthday. Happy birthday. He would have been 97. I mean, he wouldn't have lived that long. The government killed him. Government and liberals. I'm sure they were behind it too, man. I'm sure of it. I'm sure the left-wing people had him killed because they didn't want the blacks to be equal, and they still don't. Don't let them fool you, people. It's a lot of racism in this world. And the KKK still exists. We all know who started it. They say that the political parties have switched. They haven't, people. All they did was tokenize the political party of the Democrats a little bit. They're still the messed up party full of hate. They're horrible people, man. They're the party of hatred, racism, anti-Semitism. They don't want you to be free or equal, but they want to be free and equal. They want everything. They don't care about you people. I care about y'all. So everybody, let's ride with me on this trip through life, all right? Stay strong, stay safe, and above all, stay free, all right? Peace and love to y'all. Freedom.